Good morning, children. This early morning session is dedicated to class 9. Well, you may ask, sir, what are you going to teach for us for class 9? We are going to learn the supplementary, one of the stories, lesson 5, The Happy Prince by Oscar Wilde. This is an allegory. This story is an allegory. That is a fiction that narrates the, you know, or that narrates the picture of a uh, prince who is no more alive. It is interpreted to reveal the human, I mean, charity, the fact that is human charity, typically a moral one, a political one, that is packed with the valuable theme such as the social injustice, the disparity between poor and the rich, the loss of innocence, sacrifice, love, sympathy, and compassion. The story is an allegory. It brings out the importance of charity in life. The story also is a noble one. We learn that love and sacrifice can endear us to God. In this story, the happy prince, the main character is the happy prince, which is not a living one. It is the statue of a dead prince that is being laid on the top of a rock outside the city, and anyone the visitor comes that can see a smile on the lips of the prince. That is why he is being known as a happy prince. The story is like that. The happy prince, that is the statue of a dead prince, is very sorrowful. He's grieved at the sorrowful and miserable condition of the poor houses. The sight of the miseries spread up in the houses of the poor makes him totally grieved, and he cannot help crying over this pathetic scene of the poor people, and therefore he decides to help them. That his statue is decorated with gold leaves and the precious stone. So the happy prince, as he is affected by the misery and trouble of the poor people, the houses, having seen the misery and trouble of the poor people, his heart breaks out, and he decides to help. Now what happens, that a swallow has flown from another country, flown from Egypt to that very country, the country of the prince, and he has broken his flight, and just to take rest at the feet of the statue. The happy prince had detained the bird swallow just to help the poor and serve them. Therefore, the happy prince sacrificed all his gold leaves and all the precious stone, and asked the swallow to help all those who are in need of help. That thus the swallow keeps on helping the poor people, and getting them rid of the misery and sorrow. This continues for some time, while the intense cold one day killed the bird, the swallow, and the bird was lying dead. This broke the heart of the happy prince, and he also lay lifeless. His heart lay lifeless. But their death was not the end. They became immortal. Their sacrifice was for a noble cause, and that was memorable. So the angel once came down from the heaven on the earth and saw the dead swallow and the lifeless heart of the prince. Having seen both lying on the ground, the angel picked up these two as the most precious thing on the earth. She took it as the most valuable gift from earth to God, and therefore they became this object of memory for all the people. Thus, this story is full of the lesson. The true lesson is the lesson of charity, the lesson of well-being of human being, the lesson of generosity. It teaches us that God loves those who love their fellow human beings, and therefore we should never forget that till our life ends, we should keep on doing charity. We should keep on doing our fellow beings. Even the dead prince, the statue of the happy prince, didn't fail to help the poor in their misery and sorrow. This the bird swallow lost his life helping the poor people, bringing and sending it as a messenger, working as a messenger, receiving and giving the gold leaves and the precious stone to the poor people, and thereby helping them in their misery and sorrow. So we see that even a bird can sacrifice his life for a noble cause. Why can't human being? We human beings are very selfish. We should always understand that we have been given this noble birth of a human being just to do some charity, some goodness. We become selfish. We forget the, work. We have really come to help our fellow being and make them happy, because the happiness of the entire world is the happiness of the individual. We keep on confined to, our own interest and desire. We do not understand that the noble cause of charity and the noble cause of generosity can make us endear to God. God only loves those who love their fellow human beings, and therefore we should never forget the task of charity. We keep on doing, extending our support to everyone, those who are in need, because this way we can make this world a beautiful place to live. And that is what this elegiac, this little, story teaches us, and the lesson of charity, love, and affection at one hand, and on the other hand, it gives a contrasting feature of loss of patience, loss of innocence, sacrifice, love, and empathy. Therefore, we must develop and inculcate the values of empathy, love, and sacrifice for our fellow human being. Then only our life will be worthy of living, and it will be meaningful. And that is what I also believe for. So God, God loved those who love their fellow human being, and that is the lesson that this story, The Happy Prince, teaches us. That even the statue of the dead prince, went on helping the poor people and could not really stop crying for their misery and sorrow, because it held himself responsible for all this poverty and deprivation. So life is worth only when we live for some other people, our fellow being, and make some sacrifices, because any sacrifice for a noble cause can make us immortal. This is the story all about. Thank you, children. I'm sure the story of the Happy Prince, the elegiac, which is full of lessons of charity and generosity, can improve or can make you imbibe the values, the qualities such as love and sacrifice, and make you a great soul. Thank you very much. This is Eddie Singh on the channel EJ English for you, deliberating all the things for your importance. Thanks a lot.